guys, thanks for joining me for my Teach Me Tuesday tutorial for MB's Treasurista. Today we're going to make this satin edge trim here. So basically what it is satin trim, and this one here happens to be the ivory satin trim in the 7/8, and I've just butted it up against each other. And then I've added some of this gorgeous light pink flower trim with rhinestone center trim. So just to embellish it. So it's very shabby. This is what the back looks like. It's just chipboard. So I'm going to show you how to very easily make this. So keep watching and I'll show you how it's made. Okay, so in order to get started, I have a piece of chipboard here. And this is just a 12-inch long piece of chipboard. And I just cut it to 1/2 inch. The next thing you'll need is satin trim from MB's Treasurista. So this one here is the ivory satin trim in the 7/8. Okay, so the last thing you'll need is something to embellish with. So in this case, I'm most likely going to use this right here, and this is the flower trim with rhinestones, and this is in the light pink. But you could easily use something like the mini pearl flower trim. So that's what that looks like. Or you can use the pearl trim, which comes in a lot of colors as well. You can use this here, which is the white daisy pearl trim. You can even use the mesh bling if you wanted to and just cut it up and add that. You can use the rhinestone trim if you wanted to. But today I'm going to use this, and I may add something else. We'll see how this goes. So first what you're going to do is you're going to take your trim, and you're going to basically measure the length, so 12 inches. So I'm just going to cut that there, and then cut another 12 inches, which leaves me a little bit of a piece to play with, so that might be good for a card. And so I'm just going to trim that up like so. And then I'm going to take my lighter, and I'm just going to burn the edges a little bit, just very lightly, so that the satin ribbon doesn't fray. So very simply, you're going to do that to both sides, like that. And last one here. Okay. You could also use glossy accents if you wanted to. I'm just a very impatient person, and I like that the lighter works instantly and I don't have to wait for anything to dry. So next you're going to take your glue gun, and we're going to start with either side that you'd like, but what we're going to do is we're going to add some hot glue like so, and we're just going to add the ribbon like that. So far so good. Okay, so now we're just going to continue to add the hot glue going down, and we're going to continue to add. Got glue strings everywhere. And just we're gonna keep applying glue. Okay, and then this last stretch here. Okay, so that's how it looks like so far. So I mean, as you can tell, my edges are not perfect. So I mean, here I have a bit of a gap. It doesn't really matter. You know, we're not quite finished yet, so this is still a work in progress. So next we're going to flip it where it's this way, and now we're going to take the same ribbon, and we're just going to glue it. And when we glue it, we're going to butt it up right up against that piece, so you won't see a seam. Okay, so this is where you're going to have to work carefully with your glue. So you add your hot glue. Okay, so you get the gist of it. It's very, very simple. There have been many other YouTube ladies who have made this kind of trim, but none of them have made them with MB's Treasurista trim. so there we go. We're just going to push it into each other. Very, very simple. Okay, and I'm just going to keep gluing. Very, very simple. And again, like, let's say you have only the ivory satin trim, but you know, you need something right away, and you want it pink. Just take your distress inks, or take, I actually use metallic folk art paint, and I mix it with alcohol, with rubbing alcohol, and I just make my own inks, my own, you know, colorings. And then, you know, you just blow dry it with your dryer, and it dries, and you've got the color that you need. In this case, I really like the look of the ivory. I plan on making something shabby with it, so I'm going to leave it the ivory. So now you can see that my edges, they're not even. So all I'm going to do is take the scissor and cut that. Take the scissor, cut that. Now you're going to take your lighter again. If you've measured properly, then you don't have to worry about this step. You know, but if you're like me, kind of does things backwards, then, you know, you just take your lighter. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we've got this gorgeous piece of, it looks like it's double-edged, but it's not, because obviously you know that the back has been added with this chipboard. So what we're going to do now is we're going to embellish it with this crystal trim. So I'm going to start at one end, and I'm going to lay down the crystal, and you'll see how it comes out. So you're going to lay it down right on the seam, okay? So that the seam is not visible, because it'll be hidden by the trim. This flower trim with the rhinestones that I love, love, love. And it looks like I'm going to have to order some more because I'm almost out. Okay. We're going to keep going. This is very simple, and you can do this with lace if you wanted to. You could do it with this really nice satin trim that Misty has available in the store. You can do it with anything, because anything would work. And even if, let's say, you didn't want to use hot glue and you wanted to sew the pieces, you can do that as well, and just kind of scrunch things up, which would work really, really well as well. Really, really well as well. Okay, so we're going to add just this last piece like this. Okay, and so as you can see here, we have this last piece. I'm just going to cut that. Okay, and there we have it. It's very, very pretty, and this would be, you could even cut this if you wanted to. Like, let's say for an example, you wanted to use this on, you know, a card or something. You can just cut what you need. Okay, so let's say we would cut at this card here measures 5.5 by 5.5, so we cut at the 5.5 inch mark, and then all we have to do, so you cut it, and then with what's left, just burn your edges, so that this way you don't have any frayed edging. So it's very, very pretty. And that's it. That is our Teach Me Tuesday tutorial. And I thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll show you guys pictures at the end. So thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.